So good morning to everyone and welcome to the webinar Blue Crowdfunding, an alternative financing model for the Blue SMEs. As many of you already know, this webinar is one of the many activities that we are implementing in the framework of the Blue Crowdfunding project in order to boost the knowledge about crowdfunding in the Blue sector. So the Blue Crowdfunding project is an Interreg Mediterranean program project, and the main objective is to improve innovation capabilities in the blue growth sector in the Mediterranean area, integrating knowledge and the use of crowdfunding. Together, we are the partners of the Blue Crowdfunding project as Kame, and on behalf of the Blue Crowdfunding community has been also working with us in the organization of this webinar. Thank you, Luis, for collaborating with us. So since the agenda is quite tight, I think we should start with the first intervention in charge of Joan Segura from the European Crowdfunding Network. So good morning, Joan, and thank you to be here with all of us.
Good morning to everyone. Thank you very much to have this conference now to spread the knowledge about crowdfunding. I will start to share my screen to do my presentation. One moment. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Hello, I'm Joan Segura, and I will talk about crowdfunding, about what is and how it works briefly, because we don't have a lot of time, but I will try to explain everything in a concrete way. First of all, here you can find the index about the things that I will talk later, about the crowdfunding and the motives, the different crowdfunding models that we can find in the sector, how to launch a crowdfunding campaign, like how to do the process, which are the benefits and which are the risks of the crowdfunding. And I will focus my presentation a bit about equity and lending, because after we will have Chiara from Goteo, who will do more based in donation and reward. After this presentation, I will show you different cases of equity and lending crowdfunding, and we will have time for some questions or remarks if you need. Who we are? I'm from the European Crowdfunding Network. We are an organization based in Brussels, whose mission is to support innovation, represent and promote the European crowdfunding industry as a key aspect of innovation with the alternative finance and finance technology. We have around 75 members around all Europe. Okay, what are the motives for the crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is based on the fact that people want to help other people and projects they like, and they are close emotionally and geographically. But you need to think about the two different motivations. The first of all is the motivation for funders. There are different motivations for people who want to participate in a crowdfunding campaign. For example, you can get social return, you can get material return, or in the modality of lending and equity, also you can get some financial return. But we have also to see the motivation of the project owner. The crowdfunding offers entrepreneurs to innovative entrepreneurs, creative people, the opportunity to present their ideas, raise the necessary funds, and build a community. Also, it's not just raising money, because you can start your business thanks to this alternative financial tool. Here I will difference between the non-financial mechanism of crowdfunding, where we can find donation and reward. Donation is for philanthropic and donation, and the people who invest here, they don't expect any financial return. This is mainly for NGOs or for social projects. Also, we can find the reward crowdfunding, where when people support your project, they expect something in return. For example, this could be a very interesting tool for pre-selling your product, for example. And I will focus more my presentation about the financial model, about lending and equity. Here in lending, people invest in your company as a, for example, it's like more like a traditional bank where you expect some capital repayment. Normally it's a type of interest. And we have also equity where people invest in companies and they are owners of the company. Normally, in lending, the average of the inversions is like 3,000 euros, and in equity we can go until 500K or 2 million euros. But you have more risk also in equity. When we launch a crowdfunding campaign, we need to see like you have to follow some steps. The first one is the setup, where maybe you need to work during 4 or 8 weeks before launching the campaign, where you need to define your crowdfunding model. For example, if you want to use donation or instead you want to go to the financial models like equity or lending. Here, you need to think about the business plan and you have to design the campaign and it's very important to create a video because normally when you create a video, people can see more what you will offer. You have also the second phase of crowdfunding where you start the campaign. Here is when you have to put online the campaign in the platform and you need to find all the supporters for your campaign. And once it's finished this campaign, you need to pass to the reporting phase, where it's very important to do all the communication and information for the crowd. Which are the benefits of the main benefits of crowdfunding? You can validate your product. For example, you can use crowdfunding to start your business and see if people will support you before to launching in a store, for example. This reduces the cost of the funding because normally when you go to the bank, if your company doesn't have before it's not profitable before, with crowdfunding, it's easier to get the financial needs. And also empowers the consumers to be creators and links them directly to the product. But not all of them, it's benefits. For example, you also have risk when you launch a crowdfunding campaign from the supporter or from the project holder. Which are the main risks? The reputation risk. For example, if you launch a crowdfunding campaign, you need to be very careful that your performance, what you said in the campaign. Also, sometimes you can find like a lack of return of the investment because like other financial modalities, some companies, they after they launch the campaign and they get the money, they cannot deliver the inversions. Here I will explain more about the equity and the lending scenario. When you invest in lending, you normally want like a return of the investment that normally is through the interest rate. This is mainly for financial, open to SMEs and pymes in Spain. This is, thanks to crowdfunding, this is open to all the investors. And normally you have like, you need to do a business plan to launch your campaign before. Also in equity, people will be owner of your company. So here they don't expect that interest, but they expect that your company will grow in the future. This is more for startups and it's open for high-risk investors. Here we can see like in crowdfunding, you can launch the campaign, but also you can get money from other type of investors. For example, you can have some grants, you can from the government, for example, public authorities can collaborate with your crowdfunding campaigns. Also, you can launch the campaign and also go to find angel investors or venture funds. And now in equity and lending, we will apply now the new regulation of crowdfunding that Europe is working now. It's already implemented, and all the crowdfunding platforms, they need to apply in order to keep in the sector, to keep the operation in the sector. Before this regulation, every country has their own specific legal framework. But now we will have single set of rules, and these rules will be a bit more strict, and all the platforms will be able to operate in all Europe, because before the platforms just could operate in their countries. So this will be an opportunity for some companies to launch the campaign in a foreign platform, but people from the country can invest there. But when we talk about the blue economy, we have to, since this workshop is about the blue SMEs, we need to see the importance of this, because the blue economy is the 7th largest in the world and covers the 90% of all the water and the 80% of all life forms. So in order to improve this, we need to invest more money here. And for some type of projects, donation and reward doesn't work very good because they need more capital. So here we need to think about the equity and lending scenario. For example, I put here 4 sectors that from the project we thought that they were very interesting here. For example, if you want to finance a renewable energy project, you can do it also with donation or with reward, but since they need more capital, it's better if you launch a equity or lending campaign. Afterwards, we will see some projects about this. For example, now with the sustainable fishing, for example, with seaweed, or now we are promoting the aquaculture in Europe. This type of companies needs a lot of capital at the beginning. So for them, it will be more interesting to think about a lending or equity platform also. The same here in sustainable fashion. Here in sustainable fashion, we can focus also in reward, because we can use the platforms to pre-sell our product. But normally, if we need more than 30k euros, normally we should go to equity or lending. And also smart shipping, that it's very important to improve because with all the maritime transport that we have, some high-tech technologies are trying to improve the sustainability of the sector, and thanks to crowdfunding, they can get funding also. I will show you some cases of successful projects about crowdfunding. Here it's in a Portuguese platform. This is Oceano Fresco Innovation. They have launched 5 campaigns already, but I just put one. This is the second one that they launched, because before this they launched another one, and they get from in just 13 days 2,500 euros with a total of investors of 708. Here they need to put more information about the campaign, and you can see, for example, the term of the inversion. They also put the rating and also the interest rate that the people will get when they do the inversion. I put also here some insights from the campaign that they need to put, for example, the business model. They need to talk about the promoter. Also, in crowdfunding, normally projects has more opportunities if they have some social innovation. For example, here they put the contributions to the sustainable development goals. Here it's from a Spanish platform, because since we are doing this training for the Cámara de Comercio de Sevilla, I think it was very important to highlight some campaigns also in Spain. This is not about blue economy, but also it's about renewable energies. This is a company from Toledo that they wanted to put solar panels in the roof, and they decided to do a crowdfunding campaign. We can see that here the average is higher than in the other one, but also the term of the inversion is 7 years, and in the other one was 1 year. The interest is 3.65%, and they don't have in this crowdfunding platform, they don't tell you the rating risk of the campaign. Going back to blue economy, and again talking about renewable energy, this is now we will go to equity model, and this campaign raised 2,285,000 sterlings, and the target was 1 million. So it was like 200% more of the expected. This is an equity campaign, so here they need to tell you the pre-money value of the company before launching the campaign. And also here, as you can see, you need to know the share price, because you will become an owner of the company. And here the price per share is 4.5. Here is, for example, they also have a video. Here is the same than in donation and lending. You always need to promote your campaign, and to do a video is one of the best solutions ever. So it's not just about financial mechanisms, but also you need to reach the people. So, and also here they need to give you more the key of the financial assets of the company. And it's very important to have the project owners, who they are, and some insights from them. This is again a Spanish company. It's Cream. Like, they are doing innovative cosmetics, and this campaign is ongoing. So it's not finished yet, but for the moment they already reached the half of the target money that they wanted to get. And here, for example, if you can see the share price of the company is 3,000 euros. So it's higher than the other one that we saw before. The equity is the percentage that they will share with the supporters during this campaign. And also here you need to know the pre-money value of the campaign, that it was 8 million euros. Thank you very much, and if you have any question, please let me know about these two financial models.
Super. Thank you, Joan. So I think that now we have Chiara Ruzzolo, and she's talking about the crowdfunding campaigns, how the platforms work through real cases. So
Yeah.
Good morning, Chiara.
Good morning. Thank you, Alfonso. So I will try to. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I do like this, it's better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Super.
Okay. So hello, and thank you very much for having us in this panel today. My name is Chiara, and I represent Goteo, which is a Spanish donation and reward crowdfunding platform. We are based in different cities in Spain. We are in Palma de Mallorca, Barcelona, Madrid, and we also have someone working from Rome in Italy. And together with Eurocrowd, which Joan is representing, and the Chamber of Commerce of Seville, we are also partners of this Interreg-Med Blue Crowdfunding project. So, as Joan anticipated, our platform pertains to the domain of the donation model of crowdfunding, in which normally the donors who contribute to the campaign or the initiative are not seeking for a financial return for their investment. And this is how our platform looks like on different devices. And the first thing I wanted to specify just very quickly the definition of crowdfunding that Joan also somehow told us about. As you can imagine from the word itself, which is composed by two terms, crowd and funding. By crowdfunding, we mean a collective financing realized through small contributions, which can go from €1 to 1,000 euros. And the important thing is the crowd. I mean that in order to find the right amount of money for implementing a specific project or initiative, you really need to involve a variety of people. So it's not like the classical investment in which there is one big investor giving a huge amount of money to one project, but rather crowdfunding is really about the involvement of the whole community. And this is why communication in this type of financing, of alternative financing, is very important, because it is key to involve the wider community possible. This is a little bit all the different crowdfunding portal existing. Joan told you about the equity and lending-based models, which are the two investment models. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the reward and donation-based crowdfunding. Through Goteo, we support both models. And so, as I told you, these are models in which the donor is not expecting for a financial return. Donation corresponds a little bit to the most classical donation and charity way of financing initiatives, whereas rewards, in the case of rewards, there is a little little return of the investment, which is not in financial terms, but rather in the terms of a reward. What do we mean by reward? It's a little perk, symbolical, that the promoter of a project gives to each donors in exchange for their donation. It could be anything, since like starting from a very small letter saying thank you very much for the donation, or a t-shirt, or a small testing of your product. Okay, so this again is our platform, and as you can see, I mean, something very important to keep in mind is that when we talk about crowdfunding, we always refer to the digital world. It is a kind of investment, so it pertains to the world of financing, but it differentiates from the classical way we think about investments, not only because it always has to do with the digital world. So we always need a platform that is the kind of bridge between the project promoter and the community of donors. So the platform basically is the tool that allows your potential donors, your community, to donate to your initiative. And you can do it in different ways: by credit card, by direct money transfer, by PayPal, or even by immediate transferring of money. These new ways through phone numbers that are nowadays available. So on one side, crowdfunding differentiates from traditional investment because we talk about the digital world, but also, and especially in the type of crowdfunding that are reward and donation based, the way that the project promoter connects to the community of potential donors is especially through values. So it is very important to communicate the aim, the objectives of your initiative since the beginning, because it's really through values that you can connect with a wider public, and also that you can create a connection that can last longer than the initiative itself, than the campaign itself, which is not normally very long. So as I said, the civic crowdfunding, which is the one that we support on Goteo, and that is normally supported through the model of donation and reward. It is about giving support to initiatives from below. So it's normally initiatives that have a lot to do with the SDGs and that care about the collective return of the projects implemented. They are crossing the boundaries, so between activism, advocacy, social entrepreneurship, like the example that that Joan mentioned about sustainable wear, and also social innovation. This is what we think our platform as. So not only a structural tool allowing the community to donate money to the project promoters, but also as a tool that allows people to access open data also about all the campaigns that we have supported throughout the history. Goteo is a platform that has more than 10 years. So, and through the goteo.stats.org, you can access all the data that we have been collecting since the beginning of the platform. So you can investigate, for example, in which sectors we support more projects and what kind of rewards are the ones that normally are demanded the most, and so on. And also the data can be segmented per sector, so that you can see in which sectors most of the projects that we support are implemented. Also, one key characteristic of this platform is that the advice that the experts offer to the potential project promoters is a step-by-step advice, and it's tailored to each one of the projects specifically. So if you wish to launch a crowdfunding campaign, normally what you do is that you enter the platform and you register, and the registration is also available through Facebook, LinkedIn, so it's easy to do. And then you fill in an online form that is normally divided up in different sections, and once you have filled them all, you send it for review, and then our experts review all the projects and start giving you tailored advice in order to adapt the initiative to the particular characteristics of crowdfunding. So this is normally how a project looks like on a reward platform, and I would say also on any type of platform, actually. So as you can see, you have the name of the project and also the project promoter. This is like the first thing that a person sees when accessing the platform. So it's very important to give a catchy name, and also, of course, to relate the initiative to a specific either person or organization. And then, as Joan highlighted, this is the part where you should show the short video. As I said in the beginning, crowdfunding has a lot to do with communication. So the visual identity of the campaign is essential in order to be more attractive and to catch the widest community possible. So the video is a key tool. And of course, it shouldn't be very long, because we all know we are nowadays so used to scroll very quickly any audiovisual content on the internet. So what we suggest is normally to stay between 1 and 2 minutes, also to allow us to share the content on the social networks that don't accept longer videos. And then here there should be like a short description of the initiative, like a small pitch, like an abstract. And here we call it dummy text. So the meaning is that the more catchy it is, again, the better. Then you can see the number of bakers, which is the number of donors that have contributed to the campaign. This is the budget that has been achieved so far, and then the days that are left for reaching the minimum amount. This is how it normally works. So from one person to more persons, the more people start to donate to the campaign, the more you will attract. Normally what we say is that what we suggest to our project promoters is that the 20–30% of the minimum budget that they set for the campaign should be achieved in the first week of the campaign itself. So normally a campaign lasts 2 rounds of 40 days each. So it's 80 days in total, which is not a lot. So it is essential to plan all the communication activities in advance in order not to leave your social networks and your community without any message from you. And the essential, like the most vital moments are, of course, the first week and also the last week. We know that normally the urgency, the need to achieve the minimum amount is very often like a reason for the donors community to keep on donating to you. And you shouldn't think that someone who donated in the beginning can repeat. It's often the case, actually, especially if a campaign is very he's able to send this message of okay, thank you very much, we've arrived until this, and now we only need a little help to achieve our objective, like to send urgency calls at the end of the campaign. This is normally something that works very well, and that often leads to donors donating again to the initiative. Normally, we use the metaphor of the restaurant. You know, when you walk around in a square and it's somewhere new, you don't know where to eat, and you normally look to restaurants in which there is already someone sitting, because it's something that gives confidence for the new. And this is normally something that works with crowdfunding as well. If you visit the page of a platform and you scroll around all the projects that are available, you will be automatically more attractive to these initiatives that already have achieved some donations. So just to sum up about what crowdfunding is, this is a definition that we like very much. It's quite recent, from 2010, and it defines crowdfunding as collective cooperation, attention, and trust by the people who network and pool their money via the internet to support efforts initiated by other people or organizations. So again, the focus on the crowd, the focus on the network, and on the internet, the digital world. Something interesting is that in the recent years, crowdfunding has switched to be like just an alternative in the financial landscape to become, little by little, a very well-established funding mechanism. Especially during the crisis, the economical crisis of 2008, it gradually shifted from being a donation-based model to all the investment models types. But we have witnessed a kind of U-shaped return, especially after the COVID-19 crisis, because people and organizations find themselves in the need of urgent money easily available. So actually, the 2020 and 2021 have been one of the best years in terms of economical turn of money through many donation and reward crowdfunding platforms. And it's also the case of Goteo. If you have any questions, feel free to interrupt me at any time. So now to come to the best practices. These are two examples of the campaigns that have been supported in the blue economy sector during the Blue Crowdfunding project. So one of the campaign is in Spain and the other is in Greece. I will start from the Spanish campaign. This is I wanted to show you exactly the page of the campaign, but I don't know if I changed. Do you see my screen? So do you see the campaign or the presentation?
We see the two campaigns, the
So it's the
wildlife
presentation.
and the e-boats. Yeah.
So I will try to do it again and change to the page of the platform so that you can have. And now it's the platform, right?
Now it's the platform. Yep.
Okay, great. So this is how a crowdfunding campaign looks like on Goteo, but I would say that it's a model that is often available on also on other platforms. As I told you, this is the name of the initiative. Then there's a link to the organization that is promoting it. This is a campaign that managed to achieve its minimum amount. And actually also more than that, because as you see, this is the percentage of success and it is 117%. This is the number of donors that contributed to the campaign, which is 41. That is actually a quite good number. So it means that this amount has not come from one big donor, one or two big donors, but actually from little contributions from many people. And as you can see, this campaign reached in the first 40 days, more than 5,000 euros. And then it achieved the minimum amount and it passed to the second round of financing. So it could run for another 40 days and it managed to achieve more than 6,000 euros. So actually almost 7,000. So this is the list of needs. It is the budget, basically, of the campaign. And as you can see, all the costs are also divided between minimum and optimum. What do we mean? We mean that the cost that a project promoter should include in the minimum amount is like the basic needs of your project, your initiatives, those costs that without you could not even start, okay? So it's like the essential needs that you have. And this is why they included, for example, the material for the constructions of the boats that they wanted to construct. This was a campaign about building boats in Mallorca that work with solar energy, okay? So solar panels. And also something very important is that they included the costs for the crowdfunding platform and also for sending out the rewards that they foreseen for their donors. This is something very important to include in the costs of a campaign, because often, for example, in their case, they decided to give rewards like these little perks for the keys, or also they established a relation with local artisans that build wooden tools and also creams and soaps, etc. So these are all costs that project promoters should sustain. So it's important to include it in the budget. And then there's a list of other costs that are thought as optimum amount. So these are the costs that if you manage to achieve them, then you can implement more activities, but that you can also do without. And this is the other campaign. Can you see it? Action
Yep.
for Wildlife? Okay.
Mhm.
So this is another campaign, again, in the blue sector. And this time we are in Greece, in the area of Thessaloniki. This is a different campaign. The first one I showed is about a product, we could say. And this is more about a service. So this campaign aims to support a shelter for wild animals in an area that is right outside the city of Thessaloniki. And actually, it's a campaign that managed to achieve a huge amount of money. And as you can see, yes.
Excuse me, Karen, yes.
Interrupt you. We are seeing the Navega en verde por un futuro azul. We cannot
Okay.
see the campaign. No.
Now?
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Okay, no worries. So this is a campaign that achieved, as I was saying, quite a huge amount of money. The success rate is more than 200%. And also from 95 bakers. So it means that really a huge community. You could wonder, how did they manage to achieve such a big amount of bakers? It is also because Action for Wildlife, it's an organization that has a lot of international volunteers, as it applies for the many European programs. And so the donations were also coming from a lot of different countries. And it's also an organization that has been established more than 10 years ago. So it had a long story behind. And the campaign was also written in different languages, so in Greek, in English, and in Spanish. So it's also something that helps the project promoter to differentiate its target objective, target public. And also, apart from the video, something that worked very well in this campaign is the visual appearance, because of course, also considering the subject, showing animals, it's something that really connects emotionally easily to people. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure more than both. So this is also a key point. And also they prepared a lot of nice rewards. As you can see, we have tote bags, we have also some books, pens, and this is something that, of course, motivates people to donate. And something that you may wonder is, for example, let's look at this reward. You could ask yourself, okay, 100 euros for a t-shirt, it's a huge price. But this is because, as we said in the beginning, it is not really a pre-selling of a product. A reward in reward crowdfunding is thought to be something symbolic that the donor receives in exchange for the donation. So it's not normally, it doesn't equal the price of a t-shirt or of a bag. You know, because the idea is that you are supporting an initiative that you share values with, and that the money that you are sending is, in this case, for the shelter, not for the t-shirt. The reward is just something additional. If we have I see that we have time, so maybe I can show you the video of these two campaigns to close the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if you hear the sound.
Yes.
Okay.
Η δράση για την άγρια ζωή είναι ένα μη κερδοσκοπικό σωματείο που ασχολείται με την περίθαλψη και επανένταξη άγριων ζώων. Κάθε έτος περιθάλπτουμε περίπου 2.000 τραυματισμένα ζώα στις εγκαταστάσεις που έχει παραχωρήσει ο Δήμος Δέλτα στη Σύντα της Θεσσαλονίκης. Σκοπός μας είναι η φροντίδα των τραυματισμένων ζώων που φτάνουν στις εγκαταστάσεις μας, με στόχο την επανένταξή τους στο φυσικό περιβάλλον, η ευαισθητοποίηση και ενημέρωση των πολιτών για την προστασία της άγριας ζωής και του περιβάλλοντος και η διατήρηση της βιοποικιλότητας. Στο πλαίσιο της αναβάθμισης των υπηρεσιών που προσφέρουμε, σκεφτήκαμε να ξεκινήσουμε μια καμπάνια, ένα crowdfunding για την καλύτερη περίθαλψη τραυματισμένων ή άρρωστων άγριων ζώων. Με τα χρήματα που θα καταφέρουμε να μαζέψουμε, θέλουμε να προχωρήσουμε στη δημιουργία νέων υποδομών την απόκτηση εξειδικευμένου εξοπλισμού και την προμήθεια των απαραίτητων αναλώσιμων για τη φροντίδα των υπονοσηλεία ζώων. Ειδικότερα με το έργο θα δημιουργηθεί κλωβός επανένταξη θηλαστικών, θα γίνει πιο εύκολη και η αποκατάσταση της υγείας των θαλασσοπουλιών και άλλων πουλιών, τα οποία θα έχουν λερωθεί από πετρέλαιο, λάδια ή άλλες ουσίες και θα τοποθετηθούν κάμερες παρακολούθησης άγριων ζώων στις φωλιές τους. Παράλληλα, δίνεται δυνατότητα σε όσους το επιθυμούν να συμμετέχουν σε αυτή την προσπάθεια, κάνοντας δωρεές σε είδους όπως διάφορα φάρμακα ή αναλώσιμα, τροφές, είδη σούπερ μάρκετ, κάψιμα αλλά και εξειδικευμένο εξοπλισμό. Η ανάγκη των προσυλοποίησης δράσεων είναι επιτακτική και θα συμβάλλει καθοριστικά στο έργο μας. Γίνετε συμμέτοχοι στην προσπάθειά μας να προστατέψουμε την άγρια ζωή του τόπου μας. Δράστε μαζί μας.
So this was one video, and of course, mentioning that the region of Central Macedonia helped in the creation of the video. It's a very beautiful one, and something interesting that they did is that they mentioned that people could contribute not only through monetary donations, but also through in-kind donations such as medicines for the birds and the other animals that they shelter. And also they ended the video with a call to action and the QR code to immediately access the campaign online. So it's a very good point. And now let's see the other video. It's a bit more amatorial, but still very, very beautiful. And I'll try to put the subtitles. I think we can have them in English. Here. Just a second.
Buenas, somos un pequeño astillero ubicado en Mallorca y tenemos un gran proyecto. Ofrecemos en alquiler embarcaciones 100% eléctricas, respetuosas con el medio ambiente y con un claro objetivo: reducir el impacto negativo que produce el uso masivo de embarcaciones sobre el entorno. Lo que hacemos en eBoats, Mark, Joan y Javi, es construir embarcaciones a mano, utilizando principalmente materiales de origen vegetal y de fuentes renovables, como la madera de pino rojo o de cedro, y fibras naturales como el cáñamo o el lino. De este modo, nos aseguramos y podemos garantizaros que el impacto ambiental del proceso de producción, su vida útil y el reciclado de nuestras embarcaciones será el mínimo posible. Juntos podemos lograr que buena parte de las embarcaciones que se utilizan en las islas lo hagan de forma sostenible y que además se vuelvan a construir en las islas. Actualmente tenemos 2 unidades empezadas. ¿Nos ayudas a llevarlas a buen puerto? Si quieres saber cómo hacerlo, entra en la web de Goteo.
So this was the other campaign, and it was implemented thanks to the support of the Chamber of Commerce of Seville. Okay, and with this I finish my presentation. I thank you very much. And of course, if you have any questions.
Super. Thank you, Chiara. And thank you for showing us like a touchable and tangible way of crowdfunding and how campaigns works. So last but not least, today we have Anthony Scarpellis to talk about advantage of using crowdfunding in Blue SMEs, the benefit of using crowdfunding in different sectors, focus on innovation, new technologies, and sustainability. So, good morning, Anthony. Thank you very much for being here with all of us. And it's you have the whole time you need.
Good morning, Diarol. Thank you for the invitation. It's very nice and I'm very happy to see dear friends again, even online. Well, I will try to present my screen now. Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, then. So I I'm from Crowd Policy. Crowd Policy is a company centered in Athens, Greece. It's a partner of the project Blue Crowdfunding, along with the ECN, Eurocrowd, the Goteo, the Chamber of Commerce of Seville, and many other partners from the Mediterranean region. Crowd Policy operates in three main sectors and provides three basic kind of services. The first one is the government technology. We design portals, open APIs for the public sector, especially for the municipalities and regional authorities. We implement social Wi-Fi actions and applications for civic engagement. Also, we're operating in the finance and technology sector with open banking, SDKs, sandboxes, technologies, blockchain and AI technologies such as chatbots, and of course, crowdfunding as an alternative financing tool and solution. Community activation is one of our main interests. So all of our services and products are open sourced, and we provide open data. And we implement open innovation activities in order to engage the public and the ecosystem and the innovation ecosystems around government and fintech technologies. Such as bootcamps, crowd hackathons, innovation labs, etc. So since my colleagues from Juan and Chiara have already presented in very full detail the basics of crowdfunding, provided you with tips and hints about the crowdfunding campaigns, and provided you with best cases and examples. My presentation is going to be on more theoretical grounds. We're going to discuss a little bit about the blue economy sector in the EU, especially in the Mediterranean, and some challenges that the SMEs and the startups are facing in the sector, and how crowdfunding comes into play in order to face these challenges or exploit the opportunities. So in the EU, mainly not just in the EU, internationally, the main blue economy sectors are marine-based activities, which is undertaken in the sea and coastal areas. Our most, especially in the Mediterranean countries, the most important sector of marine-based activities is tourism, of course, and marine-related activities, the ones which use or produce products and services from the ocean, or the marine-based activities, such as seafood processing, biotechnology, shipbuilding, port activities, digital services. Digital services is one of the main services that are cross-cutting along all the activities in the blue economy sector the past 10 years and more. So in the EU, the contribution of the blue economy to the overall EU economy is fair enough. The gross value added is about the 1.5% of the total EU gross value added product, and but the employment is more significant. It's up to 2.5% of the total EU employment, especially in the tourism sector in the south of Europe. It's much more important. The turnover is about of the sector is about 650 billion euros. These are data of the year 2018, and the average annual salary is about 24,000 euros for the employees in this sector, which is more than the EU average. What is very important in our case is that about 75% of the active companies in the sector are SMEs or startups. So the EU is dividing the sector into two main categories. One is the established sectors, and the other one the emerging sectors of the economy. These ones are the ones that concern most new technology, the implementation of new technology or novelties and innovations, both in procedures and technologies. So the largest sector, of course, is tourism. And it's the sector that faced most of the damage from the COVID-19 crisis that we are facing for the past 2 years. Most of the sectors are recovering. These are the 2021 assessments of the impact of the crisis by the European Commission. Up to then, tourism was not recovering that prompt as it is now, because right now we are we're having reports showing that next summer is going to be more or less like the summers before the crisis. So in the investment in the sector, things are not going that good. Even before the crisis, net investments were decreasing compared to 2009, and they have decreased but besides these problems in the investment in the sector, there are some opportunities. Most of the surveys show that the interest in sustainable blue economy investment is very high, and that the global blue economy is expected to expand at twice the rate of the mainstream economy by the year 2030. So the main barriers to the sustainable blue economy investment that especially SMEs are facing is the lack of sustainability identification by the companies themselves, and also by the investors. There is a high risk capacity in the investments, making the investors really, not that much into investing into such products and services, and the fragmentation and trade-offs between the economic uses of areas and the resources, especially in the coastal areas. So these challenges that the SMEs are facing, mostly because of the lack of investment in the sector, the lack of mainstream investment. This is where crowdfunding comes into play, especially regarding innovation, new technology, and sustainable entrepreneurship. So these three challenges are complementary, and they've got cross-cutting issues. When we talk about innovation, we're talking about novelties in business models as well as in technology. Crowdfunding itself is a novel socio-technical practice with the potential to upscale and transform financial regimes. When it comes to new technology, the adoption of new technologies is part of innovation strategies. And we're mostly talking about implementation of ICT applications, especially when it comes to clean energy, marine technology, smart cities, as well as research and development. The main challenge here is that in times when so many technologies are emerging, like our era, it is hard to predict which will be the winning ones, making the investors very tight into investing in any new emerging technology. And sustainable entrepreneurship is cross-cutting these issues. This is all these aspects are main aspects driving the EU policy of during the new programming period 2021-2027, sorry. The EU investments are being driven into these sectors. Sustainability performance should be seen as a core business goal combined with large market influence. This is a combination of social and environmental performance, and it needs the balancing of economic, social, and ecological objectives by replacing the existing production methods, products, and market structure and consumption patterns with products and services with superior environmental and social impact. So crowdfunding is a potential tool to upscale companies, especially SMEs, in the adoption of such new business models. What we have, most of the literature signifies that most of the crowdfunding campaigns that fail, they do so because of the lack of clear goals regarding sustainability, and also the innovation model and the new technology that the projects that are going to be financed are going to adopt, or even the transparency after the end of the campaign to the crowd that's going to fund the campaigns. So what are the main advantages of benefits for SMEs in order to use crowdfunding as a tool of alternative financing in order to finance projects that cannot be financed other way, or there is a lack of capital. First of all, it's an alternative and complementary access to capital without giving up equity or accumulating debt. Also, it's a risk hedging tool. Any new project is a very risky and unpredictable venture, especially when it comes to innovative and sustainable solutions in the blue sector. Crowdfunding provides a market validation for the investors. Pre-selling returns the user reaction and provides an analysis of the market for the SME or the startup in order to decide upon a given concept. Also, it is a marketing tool. When we launch a campaign, we are launching as well our mission and vision to the market, and we get as return a referral traffic via the crowdfunding platform, our social media, and the website. It also provides free public relations because if our campaign is successful, it always attracts attention from media outlets. A successful campaign as well provides credibility for any angel or institution investor. It is by itself a proof of concept in order to attract financing. Crowdfunding also provides a crowdsourcing of ideas. When we engage the crowd, the citizens, and the ecosystem to our project, we receive comments and very valuable feedback to decide whether our idea needs an improvement, our project is well placed in the market and addresses real needs. Also, it expands the market for our company by introducing new potential loyal customers. The early adopters, the ones that fund our campaign, are those who actually believe in the company's long-run success, and these ones can become the brand advocates of our company. because they are also investing into our business. They're not just donating money, and the company is not just selling a product, but returning the loan to the people who invest to the project or the idea. These people are actually interested in the company's success, and they follow our brand. Also, it brings an impact in the community. Investing in your business turns a transactional relationship with the community to a deeper one, especially when it comes to innovation or sustainability, which are aspects that are highly valued in any community, especially the ones that regard environmental sustainability or address social issues. Also, it can complement funding by other sources, by traditional sources such as banking or investor financing, or even the European funds that may be used, especially in the next programming period, for the business idea or the business project. Through crowdfunding, you can also build a network by coming into contact with other businesses, by platforms and innovation ecosystems. And a boost to the success can be made with match funding, which is a co-funding between citizens and institutions. Most of the studies that are have actually studied the Goteo platform campaigns find that match funding campaigns are more likely to be successful, and they significantly increase average donations and generate new dynamics of institutional cooperation, proximity, and the support for initiatives. Also, they can even complement very well sustainability goals, even regarding the United Nations SDGs. The Goteo platform is a great example, and we recommend every one of you to take a look. That's all. Thank you for your attention, and I will be happy to answer any questions that may have arisen.
Excellent. So thank you very much from the Chamber of Commerce of Seville, and also on behalf of all the partners of the project. So in case you have any question, any query about whatever about crowdfunding, just please, you can write on the chat box, or even if you want to open your mics. So it's time for these kind of things. And just squeeze these great professionals we have today here, and especially thanks to Joan from ACN, Chiara from Goteo Foundation, and Antonis from Crowd Policy. So it's time for any question, or if it's everything okay, we should end the webinar.
Thank you very much, Alfonso, for everything. And if you have any question about equity or lending or something it wasn't very clear, please ask me, because I think in the project we were focusing more in donation and reward, but also in order to boost the inversions in the blue economy, we need to find also the modalities like equity or lending. I think it's very interesting for some startups or for some SMEs that they are looking for more capital in order to start their business. So if there is in the room some company that they are trying to launch a crowdfunding campaign, please let me know if you have any question.
So I
Not
think
for the moment. Everything was clear. That's good.
Yeah. Okay. So super. In case you have any question, please write to these great professionals we have today here with all of us, and we'll share the presentation to all the assistants. So have a nice day, and hope to see you very soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.